Welcome back to the Americas Conference Championship. We are going to determine the champion of the Americas Conference today. It's all came down to this one. 16 guys went in, 2 people remain. We have smileydoggy and lulnenko, and this is going to be an absolute barn burner. This is going to be fantastic. Drop a like on the video before we start with all of this, because these guys definitely deserve it with all the work they put in and the great Hearthstone that they have played. And we will be determining, spoilers, the opponent of Razvan in the Trash Bowl 3, which is going to come up very soon. And hopefully it's going to be a good one. JJ, what are we looking at here?
Well, first of all, small correction, 14 people went in. Second of all, smileydoggy is bringing in Galakrond Shaman, Galakrond Control Warlock, Galakrond Control Priest, and Highlander Hunter being banned. lulnenko is bringing Galakrond Rogue, Highlander Hunter, Bomb Warrior, and Quest Warlock being banned on that side, as we expected. Second player, and
Priest picked up for Doggy on the top there for you on the screen, and the Rogue for lulnenko. If you haven't seen the semifinals set, of course, lulnenko had a ridiculous game against Ked. There was a Rogue mirror, and it was one of the games of the tournament. So he definitely knows ins and outs of this deck. Now, lulnenko remarked already before this game, smileydoggy, he's really anti-warrior tech with his deck choices, so decided to go ban the Hunter there, though I'm assuming he would have liked to get rid of all those 4 decks. So should be a tough one. Talk to Doggy, also says great respect for lulnenko, a bit worried even about the way about the game, but he said that against the match before Agent PWE2 wiped him 3-0 off the board. So
we're seeing the Swamp Monsters come down now. Perfect, actually. Scoutier on 2,
yep.
Greyhound Sage on 3.
You love to see it. For lulnenko is good. That's some good curve there. You might even be able to just attack with this Spy Mistress if you want to.
Yeah, of course. smileydoggy also having a surprisingly good start for a deck that isn't necessarily as aggro-oriented and focused.
Infinite is always on hand.
Yes, and so is right now is the Volcano Scoundrel. There was the Vile Fiend on 2. So, surprisingly good curve for a control deck.
Yeah. It's gonna definitely like that because it doesn't want to get ran over here. Question is, do you just play your furry here? Yes, he does.
Yeah, I think so, because the breath is maybe not worth it.
Shadow Man is
probably the best one. Apotheos is interesting for sure. Shadow Man is probably the most consistent pick, though.
I think so. Sage coming down, I would imagine, and big damage.
You would think so.
You want to start drawing cards. You want to pick up the Galakrond as soon as possible and start going. It's really the key to this is how fast can the Rogue just explode out of its tracks and start doing some major damage. And an absolute key to that is the card draw. You get your invokes, you get your Togwaggle and your Galakrond, which is sort of just the keys to the catalyst to that explosive play.
Yeah, we're just gonna see how he decides to trade, though. Chair steps the Sage, saying I can get more card draw out of this.
Might play it instantly. Nope. Holds on to it.
Rush 5, see nothing to target. Apotheos is drawn.
Apotheos is a good pickup. You could put that on the Vile Fiend.
Yeah, but right now,
very slow play from Doggy. Yeah, I like it. I'm assuming we'll see another Sage here potentially.
Sage into Miscreant is maybe possible, though I would then be bored about hand space. Though, I mean, if you drop the con, you might as well then also play one of the lackeys. So that's perfect. Potentially. If you feel like it.
If you want to play that. See, double shield of Galakrond for Doggy, so he's got some defenses already. He's got the Apotheosis not dying anytime soon. It's gonna come down to this 2 to 3 turn window where lulnenko is going to push hard, and that's whenever he picks up his Galakrond, his Togwaggle, and the wand, and he starts playing 7 cards per turn.
Now, what would be insane, of course, is if lulnenko somehow picked up a Flick Sky Shiv, kept the coin, and just like demolished the shields.
Flick the shields.
Flicking the shields is doing wonders for people, I'm telling you.
It's the way to go. Absolutely. Absolutely the way to go. By the way, if you have not seen the European Championship, that was yesterday's match, and that featured me against Razvan. Of course, I took it off already. Razvan won in the best match that I've ever been a part of, and whoever wins this one will know that they've got their hands full with the Romanian, because he's playing some big brain game.
Yeah, and of course, that game could have gone either way, too.
That could have gone either way, but...
there was, I think there was one critical play where he could have just won the entire thing, right?
Yeah, that was one, like I had a coin flip play. It was definitely intense. A lot of things happen, so go watch it if you haven't seen it yet. That was amazing, but well-deserved Razvan. So he's going to be watching this eagerly, taking notes, sitting there with his little pen and paper, writing down stuff, I'm sure. So he's someone who prepares, and he's also someone who just knows everything.
Yeah, and we're going to see how lulnenko decides to deal with his current opponent, smileydoggy, staying in the present a little bit here. There's a variety of things you can do.
You could start going with your adventure here. Just build up a little bit of white wheat.
Questing Evis, hitting the lackey, hit 3 damage into the face, and still, if you feel like it, have. Actually, no, that would be it. Though, yeah, if you hit that in, you would have had. Okay, just decides to play it and shield.
Yeah, I like this idea. Just take it easy. You're not gonna rush this down. By the way, this is going to be a long one, so be prepared if you're watching this for this to go over an hour, because both of those guys are, first of all, slow players, and they're quite control-oriented players in this one. So.
And Praise Galakron is an interesting card here, because that allows lulnenko to trade his shield into the opposing shield with only one of them dying.
That's what's going to
Or
happen.
rather, exactly one of them dying. And we might just see either an Evis or 2 1-drops here.
I like the lackeys, like fill a board up with facelesses, right?
Yeah. Also making your questing adventure slightly bigger.
Like a swordsmith. Doesn't look bad at all.
That swordsmith could be interesting. If it hits a shield, that's probably kind of wasted, but otherwise it could potentially high roll.
You can play another one. Just get a full board. You'll get Breath of the Infinite anyway, but
yeah, it's ooh. I mean,
you don't love to see that. But
yeah, if push comes to shove, you can shadow step
you're
it.
not gonna play anything else right
but
now anyway.
You probably just get to trade it off or get it killed somehow.
And he gets attacked too.
Hey, it's a double-sided effect, so it's not exactly great for either player.
Breath is expected, I think, from Dog. We just gotta get rid of some of this junk. And this light spawn, built-in inner fire, of course.
Yeah, and that seems like it could be a powerful effect, but also it can kind of be detrimental because once it takes damage.
Monks might become relevant here, because you can't, as the rogue, you cannot wait too long. So if you don't start picking up your stuff, your invokes and your Galakron, you might pull that switch and actually go draw him, shadow step your Kronk back. And speaking of shadow steps, he's actually taking the damage here. Decides to go with the Cobalt.
And of course, every time you play a minion or a spell or anything for that matter, besides the hero power, the questing adventure also grows bigger and bigger.
The 10 at this point.
Yeah, and of course it's gonna get ripped to shreds.
Yeah, it's gotta get time ripped here. You can't leave that alive, your doggy. That's way too much damage, so that needs to go fast.
Could have played the 2-drop there first to get another card. Decides to go with the Conjurer and set
the flick! Oh, it picks the flick! That's huge! The flick is massive.
That is
immense.
That's a crazy pickup, yeah.
He's gonna love that, because that is a great control tool. And lulnenko, kind of crunching numbers, got 8 damage for 4, always packed way to the left of that hand, way deep in the archive. He's gonna have to start thinking soon. Of course, you want to clear this up. Don't allow the apotheosis targets. Just keep the board nice and easy.
And note with the prep, of course, that 8 damage only costs you 2, and is always comboable.
Yep.
If you somehow don't have anything else to combo it with, though you.
Plague of Death kind of forced, it seems like, from Doggy. You want to get rid of this because you're looking at 8 on board, 8 more from hands, a 17 in total with the weapon. For lulnenko, so you don't want any part of that.
And finding 1 point of damage out of Evil Miscreant is not unlikely at all. Ooh, there's a questing adventurer.
Expecting him to start just keep it going.
Adventurer, Miscreant, play up to 3 lackeys.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't seem too bad.
Oh, Krongs. Does he like Krongs? He likes Krongs.
Krongs prep Evis, huh?
So it says it's time. It says my Galakron's fully invoked. It's coming down next turn. Deal with it.
You know what? I don't hate it. It doesn't make the questing as big as it could be, but your board is bigger.
Yeah.
And you have the Galakron with the claw.
Now you just played your Plague of Death. I'm gonna win this game right here.
Flicking the questing could be interesting. Not necessarily great, but interesting. Though, maybe, actually, what you need to do
So
to
for
win...
backstab Edwin, there's a flick. If you put Kronks, you kill your own.
That is the one reason why you might pick questing, and second of all, questing is probably going to be bigger by the end of the turn.
Exactly.
Ooh, now we're looking at still 14 health and 6 damage on the board.
But that's lethal. Just Galakrond and Eviscerate, because Galakrond comes with the claw. That's just a win.
Yeah, of course, Doggy doesn't know that.
He knows the Galakrond's there.
He doesn't know. Yeah, but you don't know about the Evis.
Yeah. So Lulnenko is gonna take the 1-0 there. Picks up the W against Doggy. Runs the priest down. With a great rally with the Galakrond there. So the Rogue takes it, and a 1-0 lead for the man from Arizona, representing the state of Arizona.
Yes.
Residing in the great state of Georgia. So, yeah. It's,
yes. Another one of these classic Arizona versus USA battles.
Yeah, dude. Arizona versus the United States. That's the way it goes. So Doggy likes opening with the priest, and he's been comfortable with the priest too. He's been very patient and played it well. Does he go back to it now after he lost one? Let's see what he decides to go. And he does switch it up.
Yeah, so
it's Warlock time.
2 new decks on both sides. We're seeing Highlander Hunter versus
the Control Warlock.
The old Galakrond Control Warlock.
I like this mulligan for Lulnenko. You might want to kick the Bone Wraith out.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
But other than that, you have coin. Also goes Fey-Wing. It's fine.
Oh,
you have the dragon.
Gets rewarded with it.
Oh, that's perfect.
Battle Mage on 1, Dragon on 2, Stormhammer on 3.
There's an argument always to be made to coin Stormhammer, but you might also now play Brawler on 3.
Yeah, there's a variety of options there. Yeah. And Serpent Egg, not the strongest
I like
start.
coining. If he knew the hand of Doggy, he would coin the hammer here, because it's very clunky, and it's only the genius there, but it's a very, very clunky hand. So you want to go super hard and actually win this in 5 or 6 turns. So coin the hammer here, play the dragon next turn.
Yeah, but I mean,
hammering.
You know, as they say, Caster Vision's 2020, and Lulnenko working with a lot less information here. Interesting enough, this has to go for the Brawler over the Dragon. More consistent card, but not as good with the Stormhammer, of course.
Exactly. Genius down, get the egg out of here, picks up a Lackey. Ethereal is potentially very strong here. And he might like Bane of Doom.
The question is, how much do you like Pact just to delay the Hunter? Because you do have a lot of invokes that summon 1/1 imps.
You do already have Dragon Blight on hand.
So there is...
which could heal you instantly.
Yeah. So that's not entirely uninteresting, because the Hunter is known to be able to play just like a face hunter if it draws right. Which seems to be the case here from what we can see.
See what Lulnenko decides what time it is here. Could be hammer time. Hey. Could be Huffer time.
I was about to say, when is it not hammer time, but then again, you can say the same thing about Huffer, right?
It's never not Huffer time, but it's also kind of always Huffer time. Tough decisions. Tough decision to make.
So that's to go with Huffer, as always.
Big surprise. All face Lulnenko, do it. Let's go. Put him to 20. No, it takes the trade. He's playing it.
Not just a trade, takes all the trades.
Plays it smart. Doesn't want the overpowering Fiendish Rites and Dragonblight Cultists. So.
I think Spellkin is probably the... they're all good.
Worm's good. Yeah.
The problem is, 1-drop spells, you could have just gotten like Moral Coil, which is really good in this matchup. You could have gotten Soulfire, which is
Grand Slam is clunky. Hammer time, come on.
You could even go so far as to coin the dragon with it, so that you have that extra use, so you can attack with it once when you don't have a dragon.
Correct. Like the idea.
And then you can still hit the 2-1 into the 4-1, and then hit the 4-1 into the face.
The rest goes face. Yeah.
Then you're pushing 7 damage this turn.
I loved going face that turn before, just going and putting all out. Now, this is a different deck than I play, of course. I play the face hunter of the face variety of the Dragon Hunter. This is the Highlander version. It's more reserved, so... Yeah,
but also it has arguably still crazier push turns.
Oh, here we go, says Lulnenko, and finally, this is what I want to see. This is what we want to see. King Crush in the back pocket, about to happen. on turn 7. I like it. I like this.
Play is possible, but not necessary here, so trades are more effective. Bane of Doom summons random demon and
Ooh,
Supreme Abyssal.
That's a big one.
It can't go face, very important.
Can't go face. But this
damn.
But it puts the board on lock.
Yeah.
On lock. Zigzor picked up is big. Down right away and go and go and go. You can't take the foot off the gas now, lulnenko. There's a big demon on the board. It's gonna clear you up. You have to push that damage.
I have a question actually. I've never seen this in practice, but does Zephyrus, once it's active, find the silence if it's necessary?
I don't know. Smiley will know because he plays it. I do not know.
I mean, Smiley doesn't necessarily play the Supreme Abyssal by design.
This is kind of a tough spot now because the Siamat pickup was pretty dry. All you can do right here is push 5.
Yes, Siamat is great and all, but yeah.
And you're setting yourself up for that brand next turn, and now it's on Doggy to defend this, and I think you have to play the...
plays the weapons, so brand is lethal.
Yeah. What,
Galtron, of course, plays against it.
That's not to go with it?
Decides not to go with it.
Does he not fear the Branjamin?
Lackey into Lackey generation is always good.
Oh, Titanic is big. That's absolutely huge with that huge dude on the board. That might be a winner.
But that's a big gamble to take.
Yeah, that was a risky one. That was a risky move. But I think that's a big winner. That should be game.
Yeah, that's rough. That's really rough. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily concede it there because
you only have one play. I mean, you have to put the king in there, and you have to go with the Desert Spear, and then hopefully rely on Alex to find you something overwhelming in a couple turns with Grand Slam.
The Alex as a potential win con is definitely something I thought of. You don't necessarily have to kill the Abyssal, is the thing. It can't go face.
It's gonna put Divine Shield and Wind Fury down or Taunt, and let him sit. Yeah, I like this though. Not bad.
Now, of course, they can be taken out without actually damaging the Abyssal.
Yeah.
Very important.
That's what's gonna happen.
That's even smoother, of course, than what the board showed.
Let's exact that play instantly, and I was putting some serious damage.
I mean, even from the board, you knew that the Abyssal didn't have to do anything. Oh.
Still not.
The aforementioned brand play becomes a lot more interesting when the King Crush lives.
Yeah. But still, you take
not interesting enough.
Too much damage to the face, so you want to push hero power here and just set yourself up. Give yourself outs to win. The out to win is drawing your Zephyrus, and so he does play the king. It's just that it's sick. Oh, I thought you press hero power there.
I would have thought so too.
That's interesting. I thought you press hero power.
Especially because, how hard is it to find... 7 damage is tough, though.
Yeah.
No, with hero power, right? Hero power?
We need to find a Zephyrus.
So, yeah, with Zephyrus, you could have gotten Fireball and the Lava Strike, which is the one that...
Swipe.
He likes giving you more...
Swipe
hasn't been enough.
Would have been 7.
Would have needed 5 is the thing, but yeah.
Everything says Doggy gets cleared.
But now Zeph is lethal again.
No Zephyrus picked up.
Wait. Oh no.
Alex time.
That doesn't do anything.
Yes,
nerf. The thing is, Zephyrus is now 1 mana off being lethal.
Yeah.
Because you can't get the freaking lava thing.
Ball Wraith is actually fun. Is he still losing?
I don't...
Because all you could ask for lulnenko is just to hang on for another turn, right? And
yeah, but what about Slam? What does Slam do for you?
Nagrand Slam, you mean?
Yes.
No, just another turn to draw Zephyrus.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, does Nagrand Slam have a chance to win? It does, right? It's very limited, but it does exist.
Yeah, you have to go with it.
Well, or the Alex and hope for a really good dragon, but I don't think there's one that's like...
Yeah.
You basically, if you play Alex, you're basically gambling for Deathwing, right?
I suppose, yeah.
Which is rough.
Either Deathwing. Well, Mad Aspect isn't fantastic. It would have to be the Deathwing.
Yeah, and...
What does lulnenko do?
Now, of course, the problem with the Slam is you basically are hitting...
Yeah.
You have to hit 2 of them.
He played around that Grand Slam well.
The odds are nearly incalculable that he wins with that. Because of...
Oh, he'd want...
And every time he hits something else, I think
Last
he hits.
go. And smileydoggy dodging the bullets there. Lulnenko crunching the math in his head. We know Lulnenko is a math guy. Like, he does numbers.
Yeah, that math is hard, though.
That's hard.
Can you hit a minion that's already died from it?
I don't know. You know what? We're going to make it a point if we get him on interview after this match to ask him about this play. Let's note this down.
Because the thing is that with assuming that it cannot hit a minion that already has died from the effect, of course, then...
I assume that's true, yeah.
Because then the odds, of course, are higher than if it's just random targets.
And then you have to compare it to what's the odds you get a dragon that saves you.
Which, those are even harder to calculate because you need to have every single dragon.
And then you evaluate getting saved for a round versus taking a shot at winning. I like the play.
I think slam play is correct,
yeah.
But the odds of winning with it are hard to calculate, assuming that you can... If you can hit the same minion again, which probably would have happened if it did.
Only if it's not dead.
Then that would have changed the math, of course.
We'll ask him about it. Lulnenko picks up the warrior as we are tied up at one dog. He took it home with the warlock and picks up the shaman. This is also very much a Galakron that control-ish shaman. You see the scheme already on hand, which he's gonna love there. And Lulnenko himself with an easygoing bomb warrior here. So he's gonna take his time. The Corsair cache is absolutely massive. Of course, he's gonna pick up his wrench caliber there or his Ankar. Goes with the wrench caliber, and that's massive. Obviously, you love to see that mad aspect too.
I mean, there's a reason they call it bomb warrior. You like shuffling bombs.
Correct. Shuffle bombs. Take it easy. Deathwing hero, of course, because he's cool. Doesn't even play shield block because he's cool. Saying this match can go for an hour. Old control warrior days. In the control warrior, like the hard days of the control warrior and Rise of Shadows, you wouldn't play shield block in mirrors. Because it would lose you fatigue.
Yeah.
You would just not play it.
I am familiar with the concept of literally just not playing draw to not lose fatigue.
You would not play one at all.
That's rough, yeah.
Yeah. You'd rather mill cards than play draw. Absolutely. More spawn there with the spell damage totem, so hand shaping up for doggy. And see what time it is for Lulnenko. Skipper is on hand, which is of course quite big with the Armor Smith. He's setting up for something.
You could play Skipper, Armor Smith, and kill the Mars spawn if you felt like it. But that's not exactly great for a Skipper because leaves it very exposed and likely dies. We know it has a Serpent Shrine, for example. Shield blocks instead.
Yeah, he's gonna play it. He's gonna take it easy. Push hero power.
Hitting the face, pushing the hero power, you know.
Yeah. Now you want to win this game actively if you're Lulnenko. You want to win by actually shuffling bombs, dealing damage directly, and there's already one. That's the first explosion.
And 19 health is nothing to scoff at turn 5.
It's not great. Galakron on hand for Lulnenko.
I mean, dealing 11 damage in the first 5 turns in a deck that isn't like that hyper aggressive.
You know the warrior can go crazy.
Ah, yes, the portal.
There's the portal. Could be brawl time. He could also be thinking like do something with Skipper here. Skipper, Quartermaster, Armor Smith.
Yeah, probably not in that order, but yeah.
If he wants to do it now.
Yeah.
Does the Blood Bowl go in somehow? He has to do the math.
But you can play Skipper, Armor Smith, Quartermaster, and Lack. No, Lack is one off. Yeah.
He's playing this so conservative. I like it. Yeah, I do like it. He's still pushing damage. Wrench Caliber went to the face 3 times. At half health, there's bombs in the deck.
Yeah, and of course, smileydoggy, a handful of Portaliers, and no board for Lulnenko. Really.
He played this with the full knowledge of just brawl in hand, which I'm expecting any day now.
Zeph, by the way, an interesting inclusion in this deck.
Yeah.
Not gonna go off anytime soon, but
at the end it could help. We saw with the Hunter. Sometimes you get in that stalemate situation where for like several turns you just need that card and then you win. And Zephyrus is often that card. Battle Rage is a good play here, and this is where he reloads, gets closer to the Zephyrus.
You know, it wouldn't be that surprising. We just saw the Lackey coming down to either to A, get a spell, and to B, kill one of the minions again. There, the 4-1.
Shield. You might want to shield slam.
I like the Lackey better here.
Yeah, it goes with Lackey. See what he decides to pick up. Ramming speed's nice. Mortal Strike is best, of course.
Boom Squad is not entirely interesting, but it's probably not going to give you anything better than the other 12.
You love to see the damage, I think.
Yeah, especially with your opponent being at a comparatively low health there. It's, yeah.
Invocations happening for Doggy, who has not picked up the Galakrond yet, but the Krunks.
Ooh, that was a mistake indeed. Hit in the minion before killing the armor smith. That's 1 point of armor.
That is a point of armor.
Gotta keep that in mind. If Doggy somehow is one off lethal at one point,
it'll be that.
Yeah, and that's the moment when you regret it the most.
It'll be that. We've seen this happen with Doggy with like very, very minor slip-ups. If you remember in his semifinals game against Agent, didn't actually come to relevance, but he forgot to kill a lackey against a rogue on turn 6. And always notices it too, like he'll talk about it after the game. Man, I made this misplay. He'll remember all of it.
Instantly, like the moment the trigger happened, we saw that was a mistake.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, this, and this death one is about to become a throne.
Likely, yeah. Yeah.
He could scheme it, is nothing great, but the frog makes sense.
Yeah, especially because you could play the farm on top of it.
It could be walking fountain down.
Now, luckily, Toxfin not poisons in and of itself, so... And that's a huge difference, by the way, already. 16 health versus 20, and still having Lifesteal on the board, though Shield Slam will deal with that.
Yeah, Shield Slam will have to deal with that. You still draw another Skipper, right, with your Anchor?
Yeah. I was about to say, assuming you use it, but I don't see why you wouldn't.
Galakrond time! Says, I'm not gonna hold this back anymore. Picks up the Blast Master!
I mean, that's a huge pickup, but
That's a huge pickup.
I think waiting for the weapon might be validated. Though he might be looking for the Crocs as well.
Yeah, he wants to push once again. He's that, like, he sees that window, as he did with the Rogue right now.
And that taunt doesn't necessarily help with that, of course.
You see Lulnenko doing something brilliant here. He sees what he believes to be the strongest counterplay from smileydoggy, and then the next turn he decides to start pushing.
Zephyrus is active.
Zephyrus active.
For Lulnenko. That is...
Zephyrus active.
That changes the complexion around a little bit.
But call back to this and watch the tape twice if you have to. You saw this with the Rogue. You saw the Plague of Death happening, and that turn he decided to go. And right here you saw the Walking Fountain, which is the strongest response for Doggy. And the turn after he sees that, he's thinking...
Oh, right on. Damage to the face!
Bomb drawn. Ooh.
Also, speaking of the bombs, I believe we've called this up before, but Arculus Elysiana is there.
Yeah.
Like, that counters bombs.
Yes, it does counter bombs, but so far he's drawn most of the bombs. He's going to use this turn as a major re-heal, which is important.
Yeah, no, I'm just generally saying. I'm not saying that right now, like, kill the bombs. But, yeah.
That's certainly what Lulnenko was talking about when he said this is a very anti-warrior lineup for Doggy. Which has had great success, because a lot of people bring warriors, and Doggy isn't necessarily always in the situation where he's kind of forced to ban warriors so he can face them head on. Which is this is definitely an advantage.
Yeah, and we'll see what Lulnenko does here. Has the Kronks, has Zephyrus if there's anything there, but I doubt there's anything in this situation that's great.
Kronks for damage or Kronks for the 8/8?
Yeah. I think the 8/8 probably.
I feel like he might have a pretty good read on that Hagatha scheme though.
That's true.
Because that's been in the very left of the hand forever.
Shield Slam, Anchor, Mortal Strike is what it looked like there? Maybe. I was definitely looking at the Mortal Strike. I'm not sure if it was...
Should be getting a Skipper there?
I believe so.
Oh, the
Horde Pillager.
Ah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, you liked it for both Ankar and Wrench Caliber. Now, here's a question. Do you play Horde Pillager now? Because right now, you're guaranteeing another Wrench Caliber.
Right.
If you play it next turn, whenever the Anchor's dead, and he's gonna do it. I think he's gonna do it. This is thinking. This is thinking Hearthstone. I like it. Because this is your more valuable weapon now. You have most of your pirates.
And plays the smaller scheme.
Smaller scheme. Lulnenko should still know there is another one, and it's probably the one that's been sitting there the whole time. Galakrond also drawn.
Yeah, with the Kronks.
Makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's do some numbers.
Yeah, so here? 6 is 10 off. Mortal Strike is 4. Zephyrus into Fireball is 20. Yeah, that's lethal. Wait, no, is it 20? It's lethal. I'm pretty sure it's lethal.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's exactly
That's
16.
10.
Mortal Strike plus Zephyrus into Fireball.
But that's not he doesn't have mana. That's not enough mana.
Oh right, no it doesn't. Because the hero power is also 2.
What does Zephyrs give you if you play this?
I totally forgot about the mana for the hero power.
Yeah, that costs
mana.
He's getting close though. He's in that range, so there's no surprise he's taking your paws here. You want to make 100% sure with the stakes that are on the line here. You don't want to miss something.
I think you can just go for Cross for the 8/8.
And he's gonna be sitting around now thinking, Zephyrus, what is this?
Because if you have Cross for the 8/8, your opponent has to clear the board. They can't play any heals or armor gains.
Mortal Strike, Zephyrus down. He's gonna say, I'm gonna get Pyroblast when you lose next turn.
Picks up the Fireball.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Picks up the Fireball over... Okay, so Fireball plus Kronks is lethal, yeah. See, I liked Kronks into... Oh no, right, because I forgot about the element. Yeah, right, because Galvatron would have dealt with playing Kronks for the 8/8 because it would have killed the board, and Zephyrus would not have been lethal.
He calculated it out, seeing that Fireball now just wins easy with the weapon, with the Zephyrus.
By the way, very good play picking Fireball over Pyroblast. Intuitively pick Pyroblast for 10 damage, but Kronks Fireball is 11.
Value, yeah.
And
Hero Power Fireball has also been 11.
And you know that your opponent has a 5 arm.
Exactly.
That's really good play.
Yeah, lulnenko with the brilliancy with the warrior. He's up 2-1.
Yeah, the warrior.
And lulnenko's actually messaging us saying, play Frost Invocation that way. Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking about just the Galvatron itself that he was playing around.
So if your face gets frozen, you still have the... Yes.
Yeah? Oh, right, because he could have attacked with it. Yeah. But if he had picked Pyroblast, he still could not have attacked with the face.
Well, yeah. The face... If it gets frozen, but normally he could.
He didn't have weapon up anymore, did he?
Yeah, he did. He had the Excalibur still.
Right, then, yeah.
He had the Excalibur still, so you pick the Fireball because if your face gets frozen with the Pyroblast, you deal 10.
Yeah.
You don't have access to the weapon. Smart. He's commenting his game while he's playing. So, back to the Hunter. He goes as lulnenko. And Doggy...
I mean, yeah, by force.
Yeah, Doggy staying on the Shaman, saying that's my better matchup. He also has his Priest available still. We saw it in the very first game. He kind of got ran over with it, and he's not loving it.
Ooh, lulnenko ditching the entire hand, and it pays off. Big time.
You see Doggy there? A lot of removal once again on hand. He has that Agatha scheme, the Lightning Storm. Love to see it. You want to just keep hanging on.
I think it's literally impossible to not have a lot of removal on the Shaman's hand because
I think so.
The vast majority of the deck is just removal.
Yeah.
And like the invokes are also indirect removal.
I like this coin. lulnenko saying, let's put it down. I have 2 games to win 1.
Yeah, especially with the Guardian of Mercy on hand.
Exactly. And do you see Doggy already like twitching on hand with that invocation?
Don't freeze your face.
Freeze your face.
I mean, you could, but should you?
Presumably not.
And interesting enough, if you hit the Elemental in there, the Orc Merchant is not a possible play.
Yeah.
Now it still is, though you probably play the Felmo, I would think.
I think so, because you get countered by Lightning Storm if you play this. So Felmo seems like the play.
Yes, and interesting enough, of course, the Orc Merchant usable as well to just kill the Elemental if you ever need it for that.
Just that, and then the Worm Charge. We put smileydoggy into the conundrum of, do I play Lightning Storm? If it goes well, good. If it goes bad, the Brawler is now in range.
Though I still like the Felmo, it's a really good card to just drop into.
It's the nuts. I mean, unless you have some play you really want to make, which would be the Aug Merchant Sharpshooter, then it has to be Felmo.
And again, I would assume that if you do play the Aug Merchant, you probably hit it on the minion rather than your own.
Yeah.
I said minion as if,
The 2-1.
Yeah. And Invocation would be a good way to just deal with it in terms of trades.
It just rolls totems, says Doggy. Picks up a heal totem, that's okay. Assuming that now we're going to see some degree of either Sharpshooter plus Hero Power or Aug Merchant. Griffin is an interesting play, but probably not the choice.
Sharpshooter Hero Power is very good because the Aug Merchant is a bit weird because, as you said, like the Lightning Storm was a concern here.
But he's gonna force Lightning Storm out a turn before the Felmo hit the Felmo hitches or hatches.
Well, force is a strong word. You could Invocation
if he wants to play it now.
You could Invocation the Aug Merchant and then hit both the Elementals in.
If he wants to play it, right? It's better now than the turn after. Which
seems to be what he's going for. Yeah. So that's a very clean.
I'm not sure if Doggy is bluffing something like 5-head style whenever he hovers the Invocation over his own face. like saying, do I play this Witch's Brew or not? And then this happened before. People have done this, and it can actually be a very good strategy.
I don't know. I do know that there was apparently in the recent patch some changes to like how the arrows are displayed. Supposedly now better than ever in terms of accuracy, because sometimes it would just go all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's also just depending on what kind of device you're on.
Yeah, it's true.
So you know, there's definitely a lot of variance. I wouldn't necessarily always.
Lightning Storm on hand, Hagatha's scheme for guaranteed removal, and he rolls for damage totem here, picks it up, and that clears the board for smileydoggy. Big time.
And that, people, is why if you play Hero Power, you play it before Lightning Storm.
That is how you play Hearthstone.
Literally exactly that.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need a 1 in 4, and then
Hero Power,
you just get it.
I mean, it's a 1 in 4, but also like on the individual means it's still 50-50 if you don't roll the 1 in 4. So the odds are actually pretty good if you play both.
For sure. Picks up the invo, perfect on the curve there.
Yeah, and also clean trade.
Kills Zigzor. Farsight instead? What does he want? Oh, Kronks? You don't mind Kronks.
Yeah.
Dragonbane Hero Power, big damage for lulnenko, no brainer.
Ah, yes. Dragonbane Hero Power.
The old
7 damage to the face. Yeah. I love it.
It's clean.
I have experience doing this myself to people.
It's
not in the tournament, I think. I think I ever got to do it in the tournament.
Maybe not, yeah.
I'm not even
Yeah, your 100 battle a lot of time.
Yeah. I've definitely done it on the ladder a lot. Yeah. So, you know, it's fun.
It's good play. And Snake Toad and Taunt could be good. We already... Oh yeah, you see the accurate arrows? There you go.
Yes.
Just out of nothingness. What is this?
I assume it's a Dwarven Sharpshooter related error with the hero power somehow.
There's no dwarf anywhere.
Yeah, exactly, but there used to be one, right?
Okay.
I don't know. Again, they updated it.
Yeah.
I already expected it to be broken.
Visuals, man.
Like, oh, we're making an update that should make the arrows more accurate.
Exactly.
Arrow appears out of nowhere.
Exactly. Are we still in the game though? Or are we, because he hasn't done any action so far?
Yeah, but also we've seen lulnenko rope a lot in this because he tends to think
we'll see what happens here. We see Doggy messing around with his cards. Because lulnenko right now complete inactivity, so we might have a problem here. We might have some degree of issue, which we should be.
Should I just disconnect and reconnect really quickly?
Yeah, I think we'll do that because he does not seem to be.
No, the rope showing would suggest that he is still on his turn at the very least. I'm gonna give it.
We'll see what happens.
I'm gonna give it for the rope. Yeah, if that rope happens, then.
Oh, lulnenko.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying, right? That's just he thinks his moves through very thoroughly.
NPC energy, but he's making good play.
Speaking of good plays, dude, have Dragon Spike?
How about some taunts? How about you have some taunts? Says Doggy, and I like the idea a lot.
Yeah. Now the question is, what do you do? If you're lulnenko, right? Hero power.
You want to push.
Is definitely something you want to push probably every turn. Corrosive Breath is that little bit of surprise damage from the hand. Surprise and parentheses, but that can get you further.
I feel like this is tipping a bit of Doggy's way, though, at this point. Because that Walking Fountain is huge that's coming up. He has the Galakron, the Kronks, and...
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll see two things that we've seen from lulnenko before. A, praying for Zephyrus, and B, praying for the Nagrand Slap to hit the correct targets.
Exactly.
Both of which could end up deciding the game.
Yep, Hunter just... waiting for the right cards.
That's just Highlander decks in a nutshell, though.
Yeah, it happens. And he does just start nibbling at those taunts, which is probably a smart decision. Gets a hero power in, I like it. 6
health, of course. We know what Zephyrus does when you're at 6 health.
We know what 6 health means.
But then again, there also is a Galakron on the hand for smileydoggy.
Walking Fountain is a play? No! Listen, there's whatever you want to say about smileydoggy, but...
I mean, I get the idea of wanting to keep the Galakron hills fully...
He doesn't mess around.
But like...
He's saying you don't have Zephyrus on hand right now because you haven't played him yet, so the chances you draw him is probably low. And he's right.
Yeah.
He's right.
Though, let's see what... Let's have fun with dragons here. Oh, Spelkin could find you some damage.
Twilight Ray could go with hero power there, but Spelkin could fund...
Of course,
Oh, drag for Zeph!
Oh my god.
Finds him, and he's gonna take... This is so smart. Lulnenko's gonna wait. He's gonna take like 10 seconds before picking this. This is such an instructive moment because you're waiting 10 seconds, making Doggy believe you didn't get it. Because if you snap pick it, everyone in the building knows what's up. Walking Fountain is forced to.
No, not necessarily.
Galacron is fully...
Galactron,
yeah.
you can play Krons for healing. You go up to 16.
Fountain. He might be able to hold this.
Oh.
For buffs. Just... Man. He can play aggressive, and of course, now one turn left for Lulnenko.
Well, Zeph clears, but that's
yeah.
still not great.
That'll have to be a Zeph twisting nether.
Zeph twisting, it's a full turn. Your opponent says guaranteed 5 damage from hand. Well, from just weapon. So that's
but
rough.
There's no Walking Fountain target just yet, and you still have that Nagrand Slam.
That's true. I think it's the only play, right? Just Zephyrus into twisting. So. Because Nagrand Slam now would have to hit like 4 successive 1-in-7s.
We've seen him do everything right so far with this Hunter, Lulnenko, but kind of fell short yet. And I think it must be Zephyrus.
You know, let me just say that 49 squared is not a good number. That's...
What are we calculating there?
The chance of Nagrand Slam being lethal.
Oh, right now? Yeah.
Yeah. 1 over 49 squared.
He'll know that. He'll probably know that.
49 squared is almost 2,500, but not quite.
That's twisting nether. That's not the odds you like to see in this situation. I love the Zephyrus bluff. That was a good one.
Yeah, it's 49 twice subtracted and 2 or something?
Here comes 2 more invokes, so full board again, defending against that Nagrand Slam
so
quite well.
2.4.
It seems like once again it's his only option.
Ingenuity, what does it draw you?
Zigzor Prime.
Because that's what I was thinking as well.
Potentially Zigzor Prime. What beasts are in your deck? What's left? How many... Is it just Zigzor?
It might be only Zigzor.
And this is what...
Because I think we've seen Griffin always at another match. And I don't think he runs Face Stalker.
Sure.
Which is a possibility, but Secret Package is not great.
He picks up the Zigzor. Yeah. This is where
you think it was guaranteed.
Of course, you can't use Deck Tracker in the tournament, so this is all in the large brain of one Lulnenko.
By the way, this card, by the way, is almost a favorite way to draw Zigzor, of course, because huge Zigzors.
Plague of Murlocs is an answer to this, though.
Yes, it is.
As is Walking Fountain.
Yeah.
That heals a lot.
Yeah, I like the Walking Fountain player better than
wait a second. What's Nagrand Slam now?
Nagrand Slam is always 12, so it's 18 total.
And that's 1 off.
That's 1 off. But hey,
big brain on Doggy.
Hero Power Lethals are still good. Like Hero Power Lethal next turn, right? Like your opponent still has to do something.
But big brain on Doggy, understanding I'm out of the range of Nagrand Slam this turn. But this is crunch time now. We're getting there.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't think there's a better play though. Because now you have to draw Witch's Brew if you're smileydoggy, right? That's like the only out. I think.
Oh, Earthquake clears up, but Hero Power still wins.
Not to mention Desert Spear is on hand for an extra 1 point of damage if need be.
I think this is game.
This seems to be, yeah.
This is game. Nothing to do but to clear up for Doggy. And Lulnenko is going to... Oh, he's looking for lethals. He's going to want War Leader Bluegill? Doesn't hapen. I like the idea. Though. Yeah, dude. What this is high quality stuff we've seen. I mean, this is large brain for both sides. Lulnenko is going to take it, and for the first time ever, your America's Conference champion. I think long overdue, but Lulnenko has made it, and he's going to the Trash Bowl to face Razvan War in... No disrespect to anyone. By far, I would say, the highest Hearthstone IQ Trash Bowl we've ever seen so far. Because those guys are phenoms when it comes to the mental side of things.
Yeah, though we've definitely seen some great ones before.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
I mean,
we've seen playmakers.
Remember the first one? Like Sparrowhawk Limcup? That's something.
I remember all of those, but both those guys, incredible smarts, incredible understanding of detail in the game, and deservedly, him and Razvan are going to be the highlighters to close out the expansion. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get in contact with lulnenko, get people on the phone, and have some talks. So let's do that right now. And we're back with both the competitors that we've just seen play. lulnenko to your left, smileydoggy to your right. First of all, right at the top, what a phenomenal match. And I want to start with lulnenko, of course. You won it for the first time America's Conference champion. I mentioned it was long overdue because you've always been there from the start. You've played great Hearthstone. And finally got the monkey off your back. So what do you think made the difference for you today?
First 3 weeks of this tournament, I played pretty sloppy. I mean, overall, I did well, obviously making it this far, but I was going back and seeing like some misordering in my last match. I, attacked the wrong minion with a Desert Spear at one point, and you guys freaked out about it. So I just really tried to tighten up my play and avoid anything like that today, and I think I played a lot cleaner.
Yeah, I think so too. It was a very, very good showing. I have some details too about specifically you playing with the Hunter that I wanted to get on. But first of all, Doggy, of course, you made it all the way to the finals in the first time you've played. So congrats on that. It was a very good showing. I know you mentioned it every time, like before every match. Like you're worried about it. You're stressing about the matchups. Because it's some tough competition, but I think you've proven that you are part of that tough competition. So how was the tournament experience and the final game from your view?
It was really good. I liked his decks were really cool, and I feel like he played it really well.
Yeah, like you mentioned actually before the tournament that before the match, his entire deck lists are extremely anti-warrior. Were you kind of worried if you could actually get a win with that bomb warrior today?
Yeah, so I was worried, and I think the thing that helped me out was that Galakrond is kind of like a tech card, but it just gives you a button that you can push that deals 3 damage, and it lets you play Kronks for 5. And obviously, I was pulling my hair out at one point, trying to convince Zephyrus to give me Fireball, and then it didn't even matter.
Right, yeah, we noticed that actually. That was and you messaged us in game too. And the reason you didn't pick Pyroblast, of course, is if your face gets frozen, you're one-off lethal, right?
Right. The idea is if he has the second invocation of Frost and freezes my face, I can't swing with a weapon. I need to deal 11 if he both freezes me and armors up with Galakrond. So I need 6 off of Fireball and 5 from Kronks. I set it up, but he didn't have the freeze, so it didn't matter.
I think Zephyrus is tough to work with sometimes. You. We also noticed with the Shaman, especially Doggy, you would play sometimes quite conservatively using your healing. So were you just like were you doing a lot of hand reading for lulnenko there, like putting him on? He doesn't have Zephyrus, so you don't have to play the Walking Fountain too early. It got used obviously, but there were times where you would just you play your taunts and stay at 6 health. Knowing that, of course, it's a Highlander deck, but you kind of had to read that Zephyrus isn't quite there.
I forgot about Zephyrus.
Oh, okay. So because there was this one,
and I forgot about that. So
there was this one play when you actually discovered Zephyrus in the final game, lulnenko, and I was going through the roof by just the way you did it, because you took like 10 seconds. And you knew exactly what you were going to pick.
I didn't want him to think I had it.
Exactly.
I was never going to pick anything else.
Everyone knew what you were going to pick, and I called this out. That's kind of what really makes it. So some of those little mind games, that was definitely fantastic. Now, right away, the first match, you brought the priest, Doggy. You brought the priest out, and kind of got a little bit unlucky, I think, with some of the draws in that game, and also against the warrior because you started drawing a lot of the bombs early. So you never went back to the priest. Do you feel like it was just a bit too slow or too not steady enough to face this lineup?
I was worried that I might draw too many heavy cards too early, and then it would just be like throwing the match instantly.
Yeah. Like in the first
Plus
one, it felt
like really good early game.
Yeah, it felt like you stabilized, but somehow he drew the damage with both of the eviscerates, and of course it was quite well played with the Galakrond. But yeah, it was a fantastic match. So lulnenko, for you are going to be moving on to Trash Bowl 3, and you're going to be facing Razvan War from Romania, who managed to beat me in yesterday's match, quite in quite a nail biter too, but convincingly and deservedly after all. So I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to that. We definitely are. Have you already gotten a chance to look at his lists, and what is going to be your strategy, or what you can tell us about your strategy going into it?
I watched his last match that was put up onto the channel, but I already forgot what his decks were, to be totally honest with you. So no strategy yet. I'll figure it out.
You'll have to go back to the drawing board. I think that makes sense, though. Take it one match at a time. I'm sure you had to prepare a bit for this one. One card that we noticed several times, actually, or a similar theme, and maybe we can get both of you guys' opinion on that. The Nag Grand Slam in the Highlander Hunter, and this is again a question to Lulnenko, because we were kind of rolling our heads about this the first time. You had the choice between the Nag Grand Slam and the Dragon Queen Alexstrasza to roll for one dragon, and you kind of had an out there. Like, do you find your Deathwing for a board clear, or do you do a Nag Grand Slam and hope they both hit face? So
I think Nozari would have also worked.
Nozari also, holds on. So are you kind of like doing mental math there? Any idea what the odds were for Nag Grand Slam to kill him there?
I don't remember how many minions he had on the board, but I mean that's something you can figure out. If you
I think 5, and 4 of them got killed by one hit.
So if it's 5, I need to hit 2 1 and 5s out of 4. I mean, I can't do that math in my head right now. To be honest with you,
That's exactly
figure out how to do it.
We're trying to do the same thing, but it was hard. It was hard. And for you, Doggy, of course, on the other side, it was always a kind of the math of what could he have, and then what am I looking at? So when you played the Galakrond, you put yourself, was it at 17 or 16 health? Just outside of the range of exactly Nag Grand Slam in the final game. Didn't pay off at the end, but you got the Nag Grand Slam plus the Krongs on board. Exactly left you one health to keep digging for Witch's Brew, which unfortunately didn't happen. But a lot of those things need to be considered, and you're probably, in terms of the entire tournament, one of the most control-heavy players, at least in terms of the lineup that you brought that we've seen. So, do you think that favored you in the matchup because you faced a lot of aggro, or is that generally just the style that you like to play?
I really like to play control style stuff. Like the Control Shaman was one of my favorite decks.
The Galakrond Shaman, yeah. We've seen it go crazy. I mean, it can go fast. It's sort of a control combo deck, and sometimes you could just win turn 7, turn 8. If you get the right invocations. So I like
you
those
can invoke your Galakrond really early.
Yeah, exactly. And you got Corrupt Elementalist too. Have you ever considered turning it into Highlander deck? Because we've seen people experiment with that.
I played Highlander Shaman in the first 2 rounds.
Exactly. You played Highlander Shaman, and you then changed it up. Because with the Elementalist, exactly, and you could also play the quest, it allows you to still get the full invocations out. I feel like that's one of those really unexplored areas to it. But what made you decide to kick that, actually?
Me?
I ended up because you played it before.
Wanting to play good decks.
So you felt like that wasn't enough? That's
my answer.
Okay, fair enough.
If you go back and watch those matches, I like both of the games that I actually won with the Highlander Shaman. Right. My draws were just insane. Like, I fully invoked my Galakrond on turn 7, or I had the Bandersmash turn into like an Alexstrasza to deal 15 on turn 5. So I wouldn't use those games as an example of the deck being a good deck.
Yeah,
but it's definitely a lot of fun.
Fair enough. It was an experiment. I'm pretty sure that that smileydoggy's version there with the full the regular Galakrond package is a bit more stable, and it did take you quite far in the tournament. It did serve you very well. Obviously, so I can definitely see why you would bring that. Yeah, very control heavy lineup, and I wonder how both of you would have fared in the other conference, because it seemed to me like we had a very aggro-heavy tournament on the European side, and then a bit more slow and sophisticated one, more steady one on the America side. So it's going to be interesting to see the clash there, kind of.
Though, of course, with that comparison, Razvan, of course, kind of being the exception in the European conference there, being a very control-heavy player as well.
Razvan is a very control-heavy, patient player. You're gonna at the point that this video is out, you'll already have seen my match against him because yours was played after. So you'll have an idea of what's happening there. But yeah, thank you both very much for playing, for participating. Great Hearthstone. That was absolutely elite level play and nothing short of deserving for a championship game. Definitely, we're hoping for Doggy. We're going to see you back in the next one because you're a phenomenal player. Refine your decks a little bit and you'll be back. And you're going to be making some waves. I mean, beating Age and PWE. Top 300 legend, 3-0 is nothing to sneeze at. So hopefully we'll see you back soon. And lulnenko, we wish you the best of luck. That's the same thing I said to Razvan, by the way. So I'm going to be impartial there. I told him to get it for Europe, but now I'm telling you to get it for America, just so no one can
just get revenge on the two of us for both being kicked out of the tournament by Razvan.
Back to back, so that no one can put any sort of rigged tag on this tournament. We're completely impartial. But yeah, both of you, thank you very much for partaking. And do you have anything else to say? Any final message to give? But for both of you, maybe start with Smiley. Yeah, anything else you wanted to say? Any shout outs?
Good luck to Nenko.
Absolutely. So, lulnenko, you got anything?
Thank you. Yeah, put devolving missiles in all of your decks when it gets released in the new set. That card is the sleeper.
There we go.
And
That's and tidal wave. There we go. Shaman expert. I like it. There we go. Some good advice from some very strong players. You should probably listen to what they're saying. So you both also
be completely wrong.
You both also get the honor of being in our outro. So in case you don't know how it goes, everyone will say that's it, and then at the end I'll say that's it, and then that's it, and then JJ presses the button and we all go home. So thank you for watching, everybody. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. Those two players delivered some phenomenal Hearthstone. They tore the house down. It was a great showing. And one more match is to come. And after that, we got a new expansion. So back to back, we'll keep it going. It's going to be party. So thank you for watching. Subscribe to TrashcanTV if you haven't done that yet to not miss the big game that's coming up and anything that's being produced after that. Because the Trash Bowl is definitely going to be returning soon. Hopefully within the next expansion for a 4th iteration. And we have no plans on stopping. So thank you for watching. And lulnenko.
That's it.
smileydoggy.
That's it.
JJ.
That's it.
That's it.